Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, California legislators are proposing turning toilet water into tap water by using certain filters to do that very thing. Yeah. They're proposing to turn toilet water to tap water that runs out your faucet that you're going to be drinking essentially as a push for climate control, okay? Because after all, the climate is messing up. It's messing us up. We got to fix this. Let's get into this disgusting article and get to the nudie swoot of what this is all about. So let's begin. Wow, this is just insane. And let me say this to people that live in California. Look, I'm not putting you down, okay? I'm not. Look, that's your home state. I respect that. But the legislators in your home state got some serious problems. And you might want to reconsider. You might want to, reconsider the whole situation here, okay? But the article here at Breitbart News starts off: California State Water Resources Control Board proposed regulations on Tuesday that would allow for, quote, toilet to tap programs that recycle wastewater and add it back to drinking water systems. In a statement, the board said, the State Water Resources Control Board announced today proposed regulations that would allow for water systems to add wastewater, that is so gross, that has been treated to levels meeting or exceeding all drinking water standards to their potable supplies, potable, potable, however that's pronounced. But if it's pronounced potable, that sounds gross. Because what do you hear people say? I got a potty. Ugh. The process known as direct potable, I'll just pronounce it potable, direct potable reuse will enable systems to generate a climate resilient water source while reducing the amount of wastewater they release to rivers and the ocean. Direct potable reuse relies entirely on immediate multi-barrier treatment that can recycle wastewater to drinking water standards, get this now, in a matter of hours. So it's going to take hours for this stuff to recycle, right? Okay. This contrasts to the method currently being deployed in major projects launched throughout the state called indirect potable use, which further improves treated wastewater over time through groundwater recharge or dilution with surface water. While no formal direct potable reuse projects can be initiated in California until the regulations are adopted, water agencies in Santa Clara, San Diego, and the city of Los Angeles have launched pilot projects in recent years. So I'm going to leave it at that. You can read the rest of that article on your own. They go into it, they elaborate at some length of how long this kind of project has been pushed. It was pushed from 2017, I believe, to 2019. So these proposals are not new. This has been going on for quite some time. This whole idea of recycling toilet water, basically, and making it drinkable. Now, just think about how gross that is on just a general concept, right? This is water that people doo-doo in, pee in, and vomit in, among maybe other things. They dump nasty, spoiled food, and supposedly this recycling system would get all these impurities out, and get all these impurities out before it's drinkable. Now, if you read further in the article, I'm just going to throw some of that stuff out here. It's all about protecting the climate and changing the climate. For one, this is going to cause major, major problems for water business and so forth, and the water company and so forth. It's going to cause problems for them. But the other thing is this: throughout history, whenever the government has gotten involved in pushing a ton of regulations in any type of industry, history has shown that it always ends up worse than it was before. Read the works of Thomas Sowell. He documents all of this kind of stuff. Okay? Every time the government intervenes to save the day or creates these regulations, it always ends up, the latter state always ends up worse than the first. Now, am I against regulations? No, I'm not against regulations. I do believe certain things need to be regulated. I think that is part of the purpose of government, small government at that, but I believe part of the purpose of government is to initiate certain regulations in certain industries and areas so that things don't get taken out of hand, so that certain safety measures and precautionary measures are put in place to protect the public. So I understand that. But overregulation, which is what liberals and Democrats tend to do, is what I'm against. Okay? And this is what we see. But let me say this, too. This whole idea of climate change, and we got to deal with the climate. We got to, because that's really what it's all about. Dealing with the climate, and we got to take control of this. It's not about climate control. It's about people control. Okay? The people that are pushing this climate control thing, okay, are not concerned about you and I. They're not. They're concerned about consolidating power. Because what it's going to come down to, if all of this stuff is initiated, not just as water, toilet water being turned to tap water, okay, but anything that has to do with the whole concept of climate control and climate change, what is inevitably going to come down to, okay, is the government telling you how much water you can drink or use, how much heat you can use, how much air conditioning you can use, how much food you can eat, what kind of food you can eat. It will be a total control of your life. It will be communism on a global scale. That is the ultimate aim. Because if you do a little research, this whole concept of climate change and climate control is not just relevant to America, it's relevant also in the European Union. It's relevant also in the UK. Gee, I wonder why. Because it is a global attempt by the globalist elite to consolidate power and control and enrich themselves at your expense and my expense. That's what it's really about. The purpose is to enslave you because, see, they don't believe that you and I are worth anything other than being slaves in their system. We are peons to them. We're nothing to them. We're just tools that they can use to consolidate more power. And how do they do that? They create these mechanisms that you and I can't control, okay? Other than us voting for people that don't push this kind of nonsense, but that's going to be very difficult. Hate to sound cynical, okay? It's possible, but very difficult. But the whole purpose is to gain absolute control by creating these mechanisms, okay? And then charging you and charging me a certain amount of money or surcharges, if you will, if we overuse this amount of water or overuse this amount of electricity. We already kind of have it in place now. That's what that's all about. How they push this climate control / climate change / climate this or whatever is they push this spirit of fear upon the people. This is throughout history. Those politicians is all about we need to take control of the environment and we need to do this and do this and do this and do this. They've been saying these type of things for decades and have been pushing fear factors. But the problem is that the fear factor that they push, it never actually happens. Is it true that some certain concepts in the air have been poisoned by pollution and so forth? Of course it is. Anybody with even a inkling of factual data would agree with that. But is it as bad as these fear mongers are trying to actually make it out to be? No, it's not. And they've been shown time and time and time and time again that their fear mongering has fallen on a flat face. Like I said, if you want evidence to support that, read the works of Thomas Sowell, like Vision of the Anointed, that he wrote back in 1995. He documents all of these proposals that these politicians have put forth, liberals in particular. And all of this fear mongering that they have pushed forth have actually fallen flat and have never come to pass like they said it did. But when they make these predictions, it's not for your good or my good. It's to keep them in the realm of power and control. These people love power. They love control. It's what they need. You understand? They need that. You strip that from them. You strip power and control from them. They feel worthless. They feel worthless. These people are the epitome of pride. They are the epitome of narcissism. They'll push narcissism on the regulars, okay, like you and I. But in reality, when you have a true narcissist in a position of authority and power, then you have a real problem. Because these true narcissists are the ones that create the policies that you and I live by. These true narcissists are the ones that control the economics, that control the water, electricity, gas. They are the true narcissists, not you, not me. That's just a diversion tactic to get you to take your focus off the real narcissists in our society. Those are the ones at the top of the pyramid. Remember that, okay? It's all about control. It's all about control. And like I said, read the works of Thomas Sowell, his book, Vision of the Anointed, that he wrote in 1995. When you read that book, it's going to blow you away because a lot of the things that Thomas Sowell predicted in 1995 is actually taking place today. But he predicted it decades ago. Wow. Smart man, but also an informed man. Okay. Yeah, it's all about power and control. And this is disgusting. It's nasty. It's filthy. And I can't help but wonder what Californians going to say about this if they're aware of it. Oh, they'll be like, well, it's kind of gross, man. I mean, no, because you got to think about it also this way too. Are these elites, these politicians, these anointed, like Thomas Sowell says he calls them, they basically anoint themselves to be the smart, most intelligent people out here who's the ones that are smart enough to make these decisions for us because they think we're not smart enough to do it for ourselves. Are they going to drink this kind of water? Are they going to utilize the very concepts and proposals they're pushing on us? Are they going to utilize any of this? I'm going to conclude they will not. And they aren't doing it now. They want you to utilize it. They want you to take it in. They want you to drink that kind of water. And they'll tell you, oh, we have filter systems that will filter all this stuff out within a matter of hours. That by the time it gets to you in the tap water, it would already be pure. So basically what they're saying is, have faith in what we're saying to you. Let me tell you something right off the bat. I don't have faith in any politician and any person. I only have faith in one person, and if you will, and I'll rephrase that, I only have faith in one person, and that is God Almighty. And God has never let me down. I may have been disappointed by some things that I wanted, but I understood what the Bible says. God knows what's best for me. See, this is what these elites try to propose to you and I. They know what's best for you in their mind because they have access to tons of money and they have this high elite education. They figure they know what's best for you. They believe that you don't know how to run your own life. This is literally how these people think. That you're too dumb to manage your own finances, to manage your children, to manage your schooling. That we need to be anointed. We're the anointed. We need to do this for you. And part of that is taking toilet water that you have doo-dooed in, peed in, vomited in, farted in, pooed it in, and everything else. We're going to take that water and we're going to make it drinkable for you because we know what's best for you. Man, come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? This is gross and this is disgusting, but I had to talk about this because, man, these people kill me with the proposals that they're trying to push on the common people, man. But hopefully Californians will see this and push against it. Let's just hope. No offense to people in California, but you know what I'm talking about. So what do you guys think about this regulation of turning toilet water basically into tap water that you should drink? What do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.